Hello guys, today let's look at open source. What is open source? How useful is open source? How do you get started with open source? First of all, open source is software that it is distributed with its code available for use. It's available for modification. It's available for distribution with its original rights. So open source in most cases is free for use, and you can also start contributing to it. So first of all, in open source there is freedom for developers. At any time you can start contributing, you can work at any time. So there is freedom also for users. There is freedom for everyone. So many years back, within the 80s, interesting open source projects started up, and many developers started their contribution. So getting started with open source, you'll just need an account on GitHub. Just do a research and find open source projects. There are many open source projects like Linux. We have Mozilla Firefox. Python is also open source. There are many open source projects. There is OpenMRS is an open source project. So many open source projects are there. Just do a research. What will you gain from open source? In open source, you'll improve on your career. Open source helps to build your career, to make a good portfolio, and it adds a lot of knowledge at your coding. It helps you find a community where you can interact with and talk to in case of anything. So anyone can propose changes to open source, and anyone that proposes changes is called a contributor. So you can contribute to open source. First of all, once you make changes within the code, first of all you just need to fork a project. To fork a project means to get a project from the original source and then fork it to your account so that you get access to code and then do a contribution. Once done, you'll make a pull request. Once you make a pull request, it will be reviewed by some of the senior developers or anyone on the platform, and once accepted, it will be merged and added to the original main code. So starting contribution, to start contribution to open source, you can start by fixing some bugs, some simple problems on open source, making some proposals. So we have some examples. A lot of open source projects are available for beginners. Just go get started, and open source really makes money. You can also make money on open source working in your free time and start building your career. So don't waste time. So if you know some coding at any level of your coding, just like if you gain some knowledge, just go get started with open source. So if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and just like it, and then subscribe for the next content. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any useful content. Thanks for watching.